Hi, you're watching the Billy Dillard Art Show, and I'm Billy Dillard. You're probably wondering what's going on with this huge sculpted hummingbird. Well, if you watch this video about the building of the fairy house, see the progress of the enchanted fairy house, you'll find out. I'll let you know why this hummingbird is so large. So, make sure to watch it all the way through. Okay, let's get started. Hey there, I'm glad you're here today. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you the how the build's going on this fairy house. So what we'll do is we'll start over at the door jamb, show you what's going on there. So as you can see, I've got these vines in the door jamb. I just didn't want to do a regular door jamb. That would be way too boring. So I got all my vines going on here. Pretty happy with that. And then my flowers, if you notice, the centers aren't done yet, and the reason for that is while I'm going in and out here a lot, if I break one of these stained glass flowers, because they are glass, I can just unscrew it and put another one back on there. So once I get the door installed and everything's finished inside, the last thing I'll do is I'll take the epoxy and create that little part in the center of the flower. These ivy leaves, as you can see, I put like an iridescent colors on it because I really wanted to make them just really pop. So once I carved them and I painted them, then I used my iridescent colors. There'll be a lot of that iridescent color stuff going on the inside also. Okay, my faux moss on every post there. I'll be doing a lot of faux moss here on this trim to get rid of that silver where it just totally hide that. And then my little windows here. So first, you know, you take your spray and foam, squirt it in there and use your epoxy over it and create your texture. And I got all kinds of mushrooms growing on this thing that I actually sculpted out. So these were actually kind of fun to do, especially the large ones. And then we got the calla lily here. I'll probably add some more leaves down here in this area to finish it off. So this is what one of the mason jar windows looks like before I do the epoxy work on it. I left it like this because I didn't want it to be super smooth. I really like the texture, and I don't want to lose that when I'm putting my sculpting epoxy over. I want to keep that texture there. Oh, there's my coffee. Whew, I need that. So, stained glass window. Right here, I've been kind of playing around with these. I got these at Michael's, you know, a bag of them for like $3. Good deal. So I'm kind of playing around with these where I'm going to put them. I'm definitely going to build these out more here. Because I want it to look like these crystals are growing out of the side of this little window here. So that's what's going on there. Got my bee. Need more bees though. I need like a swarm of bees, honey bees. And here is the little flying fairy hedgehog. I can take him off, but ooh, where'd that come from? Yeah. So that was a scrap piece of aluminum foil. When the wife got through cooking, I saved her aluminum foil instead of throwing it away. And the wings were cereal boxes I cut, and then I used epoxy. I took a wire mesh and a sculpting epoxy and went over that, and then I painted it and added some glitter there. Got a little smiley face. And I kind of gave him one of those old 50s hairdos where his hair is flipping up. So he's got his own little perfect little spot there that he sets. This window here is coming along a little bit. It's a little bit further ahead than the rest of them. You can see where I got the mushrooms growing off of it. I used smooth on epoxy there to create that. Now, watch out, Angie. There's a wasp in here. Oh. He doesn't bother me at all, but I know you'll probably freak. No, actually, it's a mosquito. You're okay. Okay. It's just a big mosquito. So, here's my vines I got going on. So, you can see over here, first I carve them out of styrofoam, and I use liquid nails, adhesive, and glued them onto the wall. And I use some finishing nails to hold them in place till the adhesive set up. And then I just use sculpting epoxy over that to create the hard shell. I got black and brown, but both of them are epoxies. There's just two different brands that I used. And then you can see all the little flower arrangements going around the mason jar windows. Now when this is all said and done and these all get painted, they'll be really vibrant. And then I'll put some really small LED lights in here. That'll be kind of cool. The leaves here, I wanted to do something a little different there. I've seen some flowers and some leaves over in a mall area, and the leaves kind of look like hearts like this, and the texture and everything was real similar to this, so I thought, wow, I'm gonna go ahead and create some of these. So that's what I've done here. This cable here, got it at Home Depot. What I'm gonna do up here on every, you can see the roof trusses here. What I'll do is I'll use this. I really like this stuff because it's flexible, so I can put it where I want it and screw it in place. And then what it'll do, it'll come down the wall, and I can keep it off the wall by depending on how I screw it in there. But you can see you can take it and flex it, and it'll stay where you put it with the wire inside of it. And once I get all that in place, then I will use some sculpting epoxy and create a hard shell over it. And I'm going to run them down each one of these. And then over here I'll have a light switch. When the light switch, the cover will look like a big leaf with a switch in the center of it. So when I get all done, that there will look, it won't look like that at all. And then I'm going to have some LED lights arrangements up there also. Oh, I want to go get the door and bring it up here and show you what the door looks like in place. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with the door. So here's the door in place. I still got to hang the hinges on it, and these holes here, that's where the stained glass windows go that I've got made for it. And then once I get it installed, I will finish the vines. They will end up going right up to the door here. And then I got to make a custom handle and everything for it. Alright, now the next thing is Angie is going to take you around where you can see the outside perimeter of the fairy house and get a good idea of how big this build is.
So yes, another installment of the Billy Dillard Art Show brought to you by me, your trusty videographer and daughter of Billy Dillard. A voice you don't hear often, but the one who runs from bees. And every once in a while you'll hear me snicker at Billy Dillard's amazing humor. And you'll get a sigh out of me once in a while, just out of reverence for his beautiful craftsmanship. We are currently giving you an update of the fairy house, and I'm just walking around so that you can get an idea of how far it's come and just how far we still have to go. And you get to see a little bit of Billy Dillard's fun personality. You don't get to see that very often, but we are a lively bunch here at the Billy Dillard Art Show. So please be sure to come back and join us again. Continue watching the videos to watch the progress of this magical project. And check out other videos that he's done. There is a wealth of information for you, and he shares a lot of technique. So be sure to come back and subscribe. Thank you so much, and it is our pleasure to spend this time with you.
The answer to your question. Why is this sculpted hummingbird so large? Okay, so picture this hummingbird hovering in the front of the fairy house, somewhere around the door. Now, if a hummingbird in real life is only like 2.5 to 3 inches tall, that's about how big they are. And this hummingbird, well, you can tell it's a lot larger than that. So what would be the size of that fairy house in relation? So evidently it's scaled up a lot larger also. So that was the whole purpose of me sculpting this hummingbird that large, is to get you thinking in that respect when you're looking at it. Okay, so I'm glad you made it here and you stuck around. So make sure, if you haven't subscribed, to subscribe, because there's a lot more how-to videos and do-it-yourself type stuff that I've done on this fairy house project. Okay, thanks a bunch for being here. Catch you next time.